Welcome, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. This week I have been working on piecing my summertime quilt, which is the challenge project that I have been creating. And as I've been doing that, I've been working on writing a pattern for the actual quilt and decided to play with creating the oversized cutting charts that could be cut out using an electronic cutting system. And that means creating the oversized pieces and converting them to SVG. There were two different approaches that I took, and I'm going to share both of them in this video. In Electric Quilt, select Open an Existing Project and select the Summertime EQ8 Challenge project and select OK. On the Blocks tab, select the ice cream cone block and select Edit. Select the Color tab and select the spray can. Select Colors rather than Fabrics, and using the colors, recolor the block. Select Add to Project Sketchbook and select Print and Export. Select File followed by Print Setup. In the drop-down, select a PDF writer that is installed on your computer. If you do not have a PDF writer, if you're on a PC, EQ recommends something like the Qt PDF writer, and if you're on a Mac, it is the RWTS PDF writer for Mac. And I'll have links in the blog post for both of those. Since I am demoing this on a PC, I will select the Qt PDF writer and then select OK. Under the Print toolbar, select Block, and under Printing Style, make sure Showing Fabrics is turned on and select Preview. Select Print, which will open the dialog box to save your PDF. Navigate to My EQ8 Images, the Summertime EQ8 Challenge folder, and under File Name, type in Ice Cream Cone Block and select Save. Next, select Templates. In the dialog box, change the seam allowance to 0.375, which will give you a slightly oversized seam allowance. And then turn on the checkboxes for both Print Seam Allowance and use Solid Line for seam allowance. I suggest printing the key block at large, particularly when there are super small patches in the block. Select Preview and select Print. In the PDF Writer dialog box, change the file name to Ice Cream Cone Oversized Templates and select Save. To convert our PDF files into SVG files, we're going to use another software called Inkscape. Inkscape is vector-based software with free versions for both the PC and Mac. Start by selecting New Document. Once you've opened Inkscape, select File, followed by Document Properties. Under Page, you can set the size. Because I'm going to be cutting on a 12 by 12 inch cutting mat, I prefer to set my sizes at 12 by 12, but you can pick any size you wish. Under Units, change to inches. Then if you scroll down, to have a white background, turn off the checkerboard background. Select File, followed by Import. Navigate to My EQ8, Images, and the folder Summertime EQ8 Challenge. Select the Ice Cream Cone Block PDF file and select Open. Under the Import setting, select OK. The dotted line around the entire page tells us that this is grouped. Select Object Ungroup. With the Select tool, select the text at the bottom and delete using the Delete key on your keyboard. Drag a box to select all of the patches for the ice cream cone, and under Object, select Fill and Stroke. Select Stroke Paint, select Flat Color, and select a dark color, and go to Stroke Style. Under Width, change the measurement to pixels and type in 1. Using the drop-down next to dashes, make sure the straight line is selected. If you click away from the picture of the block, you can now see all of the patches. Drag a box to select all of the patches and select Clone. Drag the cloned patches away from the original ones. On the main menu, select Edit, followed by Preferences. Under Behavior, select Steps and locate Inset Outset and change the style to inches, IN, and change the number to 0.375. Go ahead and close Preferences and any other open windows. With the cloned patches still selected, from the main menu, select Object, followed by Outset. Go ahead and drag the individual patches to separate them. With the Select tool, select all of the original block and select Delete on your keyboard. With the Select tool, select everything by just dragging a box and fully enclosing it, and select Object Group. Make a note of the width and height because you will need this when you bring it into your cutting system. Then select File, Save As. Under File Name, type in Ice Cream Cone Oversized Templates, SVG, and select Save. And now you've got an SVG file that you can bring into your cutting system. Now I wanted to show you one other option. So I'm going to do a File, New, and this time under File, Import, we're going to select the templates that we produced in EQ and select Open. Now we're going to go to page 2 and select OK. Each of the template pieces has 3 parts. It has the label, the seam line, and the cutting line. Select Object and select Ungroup. With the Select tool, drag a box to completely enclose all of the ice cream cone pieces. Under Object, do another Ungroup, and then go to Path and select Union. Now we are down to 1 patch, and then from the coloring tools at the bottom, select a color for the cone. Repeat the process for the ice cream and cherry. With the Select tool, drag a box to fully enclose all of the background pieces. Select Object Ungroup and then select Path Union. This is going to treat the entire group as one set of patches, but some of these we need multiple copies of. So go ahead and color and select Path Break Apart. If any patches are exactly like another patch in the block, only one template will be produced. So we will need to select any items that it's used multiple times and clone them. The goal is to have an oversized patch for any patch in the block. The advantage of this particular method is we get the blunted off edges, which I think makes things easier to piece. On the downside, we have to account for duplications and we have to color ourselves. With the Select tool, you can drag a box to select everything, move it in the work table, and select Object Group and make note of the size, and then do a File Save As. And we're going to call this Ice Cream Cone Templates from EQ. Select Save, and you're ready to bring this into your electronic cutting system. When you bring the SVGs in your cutting system, double check that the measurements line up with the measurements in Inkscape. Make sure to fix any issues before you actually cut. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on creating your own SVGs starting with Electric Quilt 8.